people assume I'm crazy in real life. But unfortunately, to get the clicks, sometimes you need to like self-aggrandize a little bit.
What I speak on is what I call biblical masculinity, which transfers into being a biblical husband and being a biblical father. So for me, this isn't something where like this is just my preference or I find this useful. It's like, no, I think this is how God set it up.
I hate my audience though. My audience is...
Whoa, stop right there. Did I just hear you say you hate your audience?
We had children when I was deployed.
Right.
And I watched, as I came home, my children were thrilled to see me.
Right.
Why? Because the entire, gosh damn it, I always get choked up. Entire time I was gone, my wife was like, your dad's a hero.
Expected a monster, and I didn't find one. And I'm glad. All right, I doubt many of you know about the Femosphere. What is the Femosphere? I mean, however, it's a new term. It has gone viral. It's been popularized by influencers all over the internet. You know, they dominate TikTok and Instagram, and they're all over X and podcasting, you name it, they're everywhere. And when you hear about it, you might be surprised, and some might be even shocked. And then you have where probably I'm more related to, which is, you know, I'm old-fashioned, old school, open up the car for a woman, and you know, I think a guy should pay for every date. If you can't afford to pay for the date, don't go on the date. Just old school. You know, maybe it's toxic masculinity. You can decide at home. But I'm sorry, I think it's a man's job to be a provider, if at all possible, in a household. Sometimes it works out the other way. No judgment on my part at all. Anyway, we have both sides of this debate, and I think you'll find it pretty interesting. Now, we're pleased to welcome Kanika Batra. Did I say it right?
Batra.
And you're from Australia?
I'm from Australia, yeah.
Which is a beautiful country.
It is beautiful. The weather's very similar to the current weather as well.
True. I'm going to call you Kanika
Call me Kanika.
I'm going one shot at getting your last name right.
No.
I'm going to take advantage of it.
You did really well with Kanika, though. You did really well.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
See, and her husband is here, former tennis player.
Yes.
Really good tennis player. We may have to drag him in at certain moments.
I feel like we should.
I think so.
Yeah, right. Let's bring him on.
And Nick Freitas is with us. You're a strong, conservative, traditional value family guy.
Oh, yeah, very toxically masculine.
Okay.
I believe in toxic maxing. I think that's...
All right. So, you know, I've just been talking to you before this interview, and I'm like, hold on. You know, the woman I've been reading about, watching on some of these viral clips that are out there, does not seem like the woman that I just met. You don't seem as crazy as you do in some of these videos.
See, that's the problem. People assume I'm crazy in real life. But unfortunately, to get the clicks, sometimes you need to like self-aggrandize a little bit. But I actually am I've been a lifelong conservative. If you actually whoever reads my book, when it says sociopathic dating Bible, I've actually managed to make that sort of a trend for women because they don't understand that it's conservatism that is underpinning it, like being against hookup culture, against pornography, against all of the ills of society, the promiscuity that's going on. I think it's all degenerate. I don't know why people think that I'm automatically a liberal just because I post online. But yeah, I've been a lifelong conservative.
Okay, well, let's. I can tell you why people think. Let me start with this is
Let's
you.
Go.
This is one of your videos, and I'm reading it verbatim.
Go verbatim.
Maybe you should play it. Whatever. I'm a diagnosed sociopath.
Yeah.
That's how it begins. I'm bisexual, you go on to say, but this is my perfect male partner. You're talking about this guy that's here. I want my man to be the villain. I'm reading this, I'm like, oh my word. Treat everybody else like shit. Treat me like the queen that I absolutely effing am. Okay, I've achieved a lot in my life, so he has to at least be at my level. He's achieved a lot. My husband played tennis professionally, and within a week of dating me, he started a business so that he could afford the lifestyle I was accustomed to. I'm like, wow, pretty demanding. Then you go on and say that he's never seen me as anything other than a complete equal. I have no problem with that. I think men and women are different, but they have their own strengths and beauty.
I agree.
Right? And if he didn't, he wouldn't be in my life. It's like he messes up, he's done.
If he messes up, take him to the top of a cliff, little nudge.
Wait, is that reciprocated?
This is hardcore.
Is that reciprocated? Does he get to also do the nudge?
Then you go on to say, he lives to make sure that I am happy. Again, I'm a sociopath, so I see everything as transactional.
Yes, but
like sex is transactional.
He does everything that he takes such good care of me. Like, he doesn't even eat food if I haven't eaten food. Okay. He's a gem.
Well, we're going to get into all this.
I don't know where I found this guy.
You go, so I absolutely reciprocate for him if he treats me like a queen. I treat him like a king that he is. I will never understand why the manosphere tells men to marry the chambermaid instead of the queens who are going to make you look more impressive than the chambermaid. You know, who's going to make you look more, you know, the chambermaid or the effing queen?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. And the thing is, I wing everything. I don't have a script. I wing it.
Well, so explain that. What do you mean by that?
So, like, I'll just stand in front of the camera and he'll give me, like, do you want to work on this topic or this topic? I'll be like, okay, I want that one. And then I'll just go into it. Like, I don't have, like, scripts for any of my videos, even my long form YouTube. Like, I'm just talking.
What do you mean you're a sociopath? What does that mean? I mean, doesn't have the best connotation to it.
So I was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder.
I saw that.
Yes. So that is kind of the underpinning of sociopathy and psychopathy.
But you don't seem that way in person.
No, I don't think
that's how they get you.
Oh, is that it?
He's got your number. Yeah. But, yeah,
I mean, do you think she's really like that? Well, he doesn't want to weigh in. If you say the wrong thing about your queen, you're dead. All right. And, you know, Nick, you're more traditional.
Yeah.
Conservative.
Yeah.
Believe in family values.
Mm-hmm.
As a conservative, I can tell you both what I believe is I believe that a man should be the head of the household. Mm-hmm. In this sense. Not Bam Bam. Not, you know, Fred Flintstone. You know, if you look at the word gentleman and you break it down to gentleman, you treat everyone with kindness at all times. But, you know, old school, old fashioned, as I was saying at the beginning of the show, that's how you are?
Well, yeah. What I speak on is what I call biblical masculinity, which transfers into being a biblical husband and being a biblical father. Yeah. So for me, this isn't something where, like, this is just my preference or I find this useful. It's like, no, I think this is how God set it up. And so I think that's the natural created order. But yeah, no, it's not as if it's optional for me to lead my home. Like, I'm required to.
What do you mean, required to go to work and provide for your family?
So that's a great question. I actually had I got to tell you my plane story.
By the way, I don't have any crazy shit you said.
Yeah.
If I did, I would bring it up right now.
I'd actually be interested in your take on this. I was flying somewhere, and I think at the time I was like maybe 31, 32. And this young woman is fidgeting with her light because she's got to read something on the plane. Her light's not working, mine is. I said, hey, do you want to switch seats so you can read this? And she goes, oh, thank you so much. I just got a job interview and I just got married. And I said, hey, let me just tell you, marriage is awesome. Absolutely love it. Marriage is incredible. Right. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And she goes, oh, how long have you been married? And at that time, I think I'd been married about, 13 years, 12 years? Because I got married at 19.
How long have you been married now?
27.
That's all.
Wow.
27. All in a row.
How long have you been married?
4 years.
4 years. Yeah. Okay.
So she goes, you don't look that much older than me. I said, well, I got married at 19. And she goes, how do you make it work? I said, do you really want to know? And now she gets a little nervous. Like, did she just walk into something weird, right? Oh, you joined this cult. No. Yeah. I said, do you really want to know? I said, we have a biblical worldview of marriage. She goes, what does that mean? And I said, well, one of the things it means is I'm the head of the household. And she asked me a great question. She goes, why does there need to be a head? Why does there need to be a leader? I said, when you got married, did you say till death do us part? Yes. Okay, what happens if you disagree? Do you separate the assets? Do you split apart? Do you figure it out? I said, understand something. When my wife married me, she accepted that my obligation was to love my wife as Christ loved the church and give his life for it. Her obligation was to respect her husband and to submit. Now, that doesn't mean she has to submit to immorality.
Yeah.
Do you know what the odds are,
That she would run
the old school?
Yeah.
You probably to love, honor, cherish, obey.
Yeah.
The odds of the word obey ever being put in a service are pretty low.
Here's the thing I pointed out to her.
I've never heard one.
I said, understand, like, what my leadership means this, is that I have to lead her in accordance with the rules and structure that God has given me. I'm not a tyrant, but I do have to lead. I am responsible for that. But I have to lead in such a way that I have to make the decisions based off of what is best for my wife and my children, up to and including my life for theirs.
Wow.
That's my obligation. Her obligation is not to sit there quietly as I direct her. Her obligation is to be that irremovable support that God talks about, where we come together. I said, I can count. I mean, we got married in 1920.
I'm watching her shake her head. It's like, is he converting you?
No, he's the head of our household. I can't make final decisions.
Okay, no way.
I swear to God.
He's the head of your household.
He's the head of our household. I don't get the final say.
Okay, but how does that square with? But if he screws up, I'm tipping him over the edge.
That was just.
Okay,
we have dark humor. Like, once I kicked him up the butt and he fell to the ground.
Yeah.
And he's since been very afraid of walking behind me. Or me walking behind him, sorry. So if I'm walking behind him, he'll rush along.
So nothing I just said you would disagree with?
I agree with all of it. He is the head of the household.
You thought this was going to be so much more fireworks.
I'm sitting here half stunned, to be very blunt.
Yeah.
But there's more you two will agree on. But let me get back to, I love your worldview and as much as you're explaining it. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people here submit or hear head of household. Mm-hmm. And because I have the same biblical worldview that you do, and I think you have to serve the people in your life that you love. Serve them.
Yes.
And I'm not serving the queen or the king. I think you do it because that's what love is. Mm-hmm. That's how you define love. Yeah. And acts of service, the love languages, all that sort of thing. Acts of service is a big one. So how does it manifest itself as that you being the biblical head of the household?
Oh, well, a lot of people think that, okay, I do all the guy stuff. So interestingly enough, I'm about to lose a lot of street cred right now. If something breaks in my house,
oh boy,
Tina's probably better at fixing it.
Really?
When she was growing up, her house flooded twice. Mm-hmm. And her parents had to learn how to do everything. They had to learn how to fix stuff. They had to learn how to build stuff, and they're great at it. And Tina loves it. So it doesn't mean well, no, this is my domain. What it means is that I'm the spiritual head of my household. Mm-hmm. But it also means that I'm chief responsible for protecting and providing. And like you said, there's some marriages where the wife's a doctor, and yeah, I get it. But I'm also responsible for protecting my wife.
Somebody breaks into your house.
I'm shooting them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my attitude is anyone breaks into my house, that's my job.
Yeah.
That's my job.
Yes.
And okay, here we go. I'll be accused of toxic masculinity. I don't give a shit. But you know what? Men generally, and there are exceptions, are physically stronger than women, generally, in most cases. Yeah. There are exceptions, and God bless.
99%.
What's that?
99%.
99%. All right.
Well, look, a good friend of mine, Misha Tate. Misha Tate is the UFC former featherweight champion of the world.
She's going down then if you're married to
her.
Right,
well, no. Her husband, also an MMA fighter, right? Yeah. Why? Because she wants a strong man.
Yeah.
The stronger the woman, the stronger the man that they want.
It's a good point. Yeah. All right, so...
I have a point, actually. I want to say that sociopathic and psychopathic love is actually better because... One, I am choosing to love somebody. I'm choosing to show up every day. I'm choosing to be in his corner. I'm choosing to be with him at all times. If he ever needs defending from public smears or anything, that's my job. That's something that I can perform on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And a lot of empaths, let's say, will come in and they'll say, yeah, I love this person so much because it's the brain. The brain is fried by hormones and chemicals, and then you're a slave to your emotions. But that's something that I don't have to deal with. So I actively choose to love. Yeah. And I think the difference is I see someone, and I see I can't live without them. And I feel like they...
Can you not live without him?
I can't live without him.
Is there anything he can do to fire himself?
No.
If he cheated on you?
He just wouldn't.
What?
He wouldn't. Because he literally was with his ex-girlfriend and he had a dream that he cheated and he was crying.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's honorable, man. He's over there like, I can't believe she told that. Dude, that is honorable. The fact that you would be that guilty over infidelity is a total green flag, dude.
It is,
agree.
Right?
Yeah.
It is.
So, okay, I never ask anybody about their personal life or life choices. And I don't want you to answer this question if you don't want to. However, you've said it about yourself numerous times publicly that you're bisexual.
Yes.
Okay. Does that give you license to be with other people in this relationship?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
So you've given up that part of your life?
Yes.
Completely.
So I do have attraction to women, but I wouldn't risk my marriage or any relationship for it, because obviously my parents are super conservative as well. We have traditional values in our house, and my dad would always say you can't have two people driving a car at the same time.
Right.
Otherwise you're going to get into a crash. You need one head of the household. And let's say if I was sleeping with women on the side, I would consider that to be infidelity.
Would infidelity fire him as your husband?
From him cheating on me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. You're not as crazy sociopathic and hardcore as you're at.
I've told him if he tries, I'm going to smash his laptop, I'm going to burn his clothes, I'm going to ruin his relationship with his family, I'm going to do a whole smear campaign on him, and so he's terrified.
Basically everything that would happen in a country western song.
Exactly.
And if you play it backwards, you get it all back.
That's right.
I'll be like Taylor Swift. I'll write a song about it and release it to everybody I know on all my platforms.
So you would go scorched earth, letting the world know that
exactly. But then he could still be with me, and like I'd get a lot of hate from my audience. I hate my audience though. My audience is
Whoa, stop right there. Did I just hear you say you hate your audience?
Well, yeah.
You sound like Graham Plattner, who said that the people of Maine are racist and stupid, that he wanted to vote for him when he was running.
No, but the thing is, I have leftist women as my followers because they love like the mental health stuff and feminine rage. So it's like I can't ever talk about things I truly believe in. I can't talk about conservatism. I can't talk about Charlie Kirk. I can't talk about Candace Owens.
Why not?
Because they had a smear campaign running against me on Reddit. They doxed my address. They've done some really horrific things.
Does that hurt you?
At one point it did, because I was in the Maldives. I was dying because I couldn't get a blood transfusion. And I just got all of these people telling me everything that's wrong with me physically, saying that I should die, that I should be sexually assaulted. There was a lot. So there's only so much. Even
why do you read it? Because I've been in the public eye for 38 years.
I don't generally read it. I had to get people to tell me to summarize, because I was like, I don't know where to end this attack.
Well, can I ask a question on that though? Because that one's interesting. I get it. There's when you're in the social media space and things like that, and part it's your profession.
Yeah, and if you step out of your niche, it's like that your followers like, I'm unfollowing now, I'm leaving.
Well, but by the same token, like when you were talking about saying something that you know is a little bit over the top for social media, I will say things like sarcastically or joking or whatnot, but I always try to make sure that whatever I say, I believe that it's true. And the thing is that you're not wrong. Like, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke. You're right. If you started saying other things, your current base would be pissed. Now, some of them would be pissed, and then they'd comment relentlessly, right?
They do.
But then other people would actually find that incredibly refreshing, that maybe you thought one way and now you think differently, or that you had the courage to step out and say, I'm not going to. There's a wonderful statement, right? Live not by lies. There's something incredibly powerful and influential in somebody that was willing to risk something for the truth. Absolutely.
So what I'd say to that is, like, I lost approximately 10,000 followers for supporting Israel, which I still do.
Why did you lose 10,000?
Because the leftists did not like that.
Yeah.
Like, they absolutely reamed me. They're like, oh, you're a baby killer. You love genocide.
I had my single biggest drop in followers when I...
And then
when what?
What's that?
When what?
Oh, I came out after October 7th, and I was like, I hope the...
Listen, I don't care. Let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't either. Neither does she on that one.
You know what pisses me off?
Yeah.
Is the population of Israel is less than 9 million.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be extrapolated out, America, our population versus Israel. That'd be the equivalent of 40,000 dead Americans in a day. Are you telling me that we wouldn't demand our president obliterate any and everybody involved, period?
I made the same argument. I was like, if Mexico decided, well, Texas is stolen land, murdered 40,000 of our people, kidnapped 1,200.
Oh, yeah, you're done.
Mexico would be a parking lot.
Parking lot. And if not, that president is gone.
Yeah.
The next day. Yeah. So you lost a lot of followers.
I lost that, and then when Charlie Kirk was murdered, and that was one of the worst mornings of my life. When I found out he was murdered, I was posting tributes to him. I still do it. Basically, anytime I think of him, I'll put him up on my story. Anytime, it's usually on each month on the 10th, I'll post about him. And I lost another 10K followers for that.
Wow.
And I'm just not going to back down. This woman who follows me, she's like, oh, how can you love that hateful, racist, misogynist? And I'm like, you obviously have never watched Charlie Kirk at any point of your life.
He had a beautiful heart and soul.
He did. And she was telling me, oh, the world can live without another violent man. And then she threatened to beat me up as like something against violence. I was like, do you hear yourself? And
okay, you're the most empathetic sociopath I've ever met. I mean,
it's just for Charlie Kirk and for him.
The rest of you.
Charlie was such like a beacon of masculinity. Like he protected Erica, he protected their babies. He said that his little girl coming up to him and hugging his leg was better than being on Air Force One. How could anyone hate this man?
I don't know, and I will tell you, and I interviewed Erica. And I liked her very much, and my heart breaks for her. And it's just so sad. And then now she's got to read every insane, bizarre conspiracy theory. The one thing I liked is they recently had the preliminary hearing.
Yes.
And, the evidence is so overwhelming, so incontrovertible. It's so debunked, so much of the BS online. And I'm like, finally, but, I'm taking issue with that you're a sociopath at this point. Let me ask you.
I'm not sure I buy it either.
I'm not buying it.
Either you're really good at it or...
It's just him.
All right, here's a question. Is this an act?
No,
is this just...
Because, listen, when my grandmother died in 2024, half an hour later, someone asked me, like, are you okay? And I was like, about what?
Yeah.
Because I just forgot. I don't really care. But, like, Charlie was just so important to me because... I think all men should be like listening to him. I think that he's the best role model you can have.
He talked about loving his wife, loving his family, being a provider,
taking care of women, like protecting women, hiring women. More women are at Turning Point USA than men. So it's like, how dare you call him these names? How dare you think that it's okay for him to be shot in front of everybody? I don't know.
Are you religious at all?
I've become religious.
In what?
So... after Charlie died, I thought, okay, I'm going to pick up a Bible. I did. It was life-changing for me. And now I'm a catechumen of the Orthodox Church.
Wow.
And
is your husband on board with this?
Well, he's like a baby. He's a baby Christian. I would say he's a Lutheran.
He's a Lutheran.
I think he's used to getting the crap kicked out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, verbally.
Well, that's so.
He's like,
I'm curious. So why orthodoxy?
It's because not just the liturgical beauty or the grandeur inside, but the idea that it's a hospital and not a courtroom. Because they see sin as an illness and they want to treat you. So that's what I'm looking forward to, my lifetime confession, so that I can start fresh. Because I've done a lot of bad things and I don't want to continue.
Okay, what have you done that's bad?
When I was younger, I was extremely violent. I've had conduct disorder. I was a truant. I'd steal from people. I'd steal from shops, even though I don't really need to. My dad earned plenty. I was, constantly trying to rile up other people.
Do you have a conscience? Do you feel bad when you do those things?
No, I didn't feel bad doing that.
You didn't? Do you feel bad now?
But do you feel bad now? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I don't.
Take over.
Sorry.
I just feel like...
Hang in with Nick.
I'm sorry.
I just feel like there's nothing you can do to go back and change it. So what's the point of thinking about it?
You could just learn from it.
I try to, but like that's the thing. Like they've done a PET scan of my brain. Like it just doesn't light up.
I quote this often because it's so relevant. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. All. Guilty, right here.
Agreed.
Number one. I'm curious, Nick, about you in this sense. You know, we were talking earlier, you know, she said in that initial statement, she just dropped Mr. Wonderful tennis player over here. Who's just, you know, laughing.
Obviously crap.
And he's going like this a lot.
He wouldn't do it.
And but now there are biblical reasons, I believe.
Yeah.
Unless you have a different interpretation.
Christ said it himself.
Yeah.
Infidelity.
Yep.
Okay. Abandonment.
Yeah.
Okay. For divorce.
Yeah. Or at least separation.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
So when we're talking about abusive relationships or things like that, I think separation is absolutely biblically justified, and it's very obvious as such. When we talk about divorce, because again, we're talking about the old law was Moses gave a letter of divorce, and Christ is essentially saying he gave this to you in your sin, right?
Because of the hardness of your heart.
Yes, this is not the ideal. You know, it's why in our vows we say, what God joins, let no man tear asunder. But Christ himself lists infidelity as the one, or sexual sin as the thing that they can do. So I don't believe that means that should be the automatic response. But is it biblically justifiable? Well, yeah. If Jesus says so, I'm not going to attempt to contradict him.
Have you ever thought how you would deal with it? It doesn't. It sounds like you have a great marriage to me.
Yes.
So, and actually, I think you both do. But if it ever happened, how do you think you'd deal with it?
Well, my initial response would be to want to beat the hell out of whoever the guy was, right?
Well, wait a minute.
Because I'm
why
a
would
guy.
you blame the guy when it's the wife that walked down the aisle with you and promised to love, honor, cherish?
Both are guilty.
Be faithful to forsake all others.
No. Both are guilty, but I'm not going to lay hands on my wife. Right, so
so you'd rather beat the shit out of him?
Yeah, absolutely. He gets an ass beating either way. But no. I would be. It is in my mind the highest form of betrayal between a married couple is sexual infidelity.
By the way, there's so much of it.
Yeah. Oh no, there is.
There's a lot of it.
Serving in the military, yes, there's a lot of it. But my initial inclination would be to ask: is there any way I can salvage my marriage?
How would you go about that?
The way I would attempt to go about it is essentially I would set criteria for how she could re-earn my trust, and then she would have to do it, and that would be non-negotiable. So it would be one of those things where that would be my initial inclination. Why? Because I love my wife. We have a 27-year history. We've raised 3 kids together. We've been through a lot together. So to the extent
you wouldn't want to throw it away right away.
No, not right away. No. Now, if she was not repentant, if she didn't have a spirit of repentance, because here's the thing, and Christians screw this up all the time. For a Christian, forgiveness is mandatory. I do not have a choice on whether or not I forgive. Why? Because Christ forgave me.
Yeah.
But reconciliation requires repentance. How do I know that? Because I don't get to reconcile with God unless I repent.
I agree with you too. You know, there's in the Lord's Prayer, which I think is the most powerful prayer.
Yeah.
You know, it says, "Forgive us as we forgive." Now, can you forgive, but also say goodbye?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. You don't have an obligation to forgive someone and remain in a situation where infidelity is present or abuse is present. I can forgive you of that and then separate myself from the situation. So again, let me just be clear. Sexual infidelity is grounds for divorce that is biblically justifiable. That doesn't mean you have to choose that option, but it is available. And so that's the distinction I make, is that I would try to salvage my marriage, but to the extent I would try, it would be to set up the criteria that she would have to prove to me that our marriage was worth saving.
I actually think you have it dead on. The other thing I would say is, and you keep talking about abuse, I mean, there's physical abuse, there's emotional abuse. I'm sorry, but I think everyone has to learn to stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
And you know, I know people that have been in emotionally abusive relationships, and to see it is painful.
Yeah.
You know, and I've even spoken out in moments. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you speaking up? Why are you talking that way?
Yeah.
You know, how do you, you know, you're like a bully.
Well, my wife and I both grew up in broken homes.
Yeah.
So when we got married at 19 and 20 and moved to the other side of the country, because I had just joined the military, which doesn't have the best record for divorce rates and fidelity, people at my wedding were betting on our marriage.
Really?
Oh yeah, we had
betting whether you succeed.
Betting on how long.
I worked at a wedding factory, but I want you to continue this. But I'm going to tell you a quick story just because you sparked a thought. And I was a bartender, and I do a wedding Friday night. I do 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
Yeah.
And as the staff, I hate to tell you, you could see.
You could tell.
You could tell. In a lot of cases, there's no way in hell this is going to work out. Yeah. Was I right? I never did any follow-up.
Well, everybody sitting at that table that bet that we'd be divorced within a certain amount of time, they're all divorced, and we're still together. But people ask, like, why is that? I was like, well, nobody gets to tell me I got lucky, because we, again, both came from broken homes, got married super young, moved to the other side of the country with no support network, in the military, which has a bad reputation for divorce. And then when we started having kids, I immediately went to special forces so that I could go deploy more. So the first 10 years of my marriage, I spent half of it gone. So
that's hard.
Nobody gets to tell me we got lucky. So the question is what made it successful? When you have a biblical foundation for your marriage, what it does is it provides both parties concrete examples of what you're supposed to do, and it provides both of you an authority outside of each other that you can point to. So does this mean I got everything right? Not no, but hell no. And look, my wife and I both love to debate. We both love to argue. I'll never forget, like I talk about it to this day, I'll never forget, my wife and I were in this big argument our first year of marriage. She looks me dead in the eye and she goes, "You need to talk to me like I'm the woman you love."
Wow.
I like that.
By the way, good for her.
Yes, because and what all of a sudden what it did is it triggered in me this idea that my wife grew up with bad arguments, meaning the marriage was over. So the way I'm talking to her right now is causing her to question my love for her and the security of our marriage. So I can't do that. It doesn't mean, by the way, worst damn advice that old miserable men give to young men is, don't argue with your wife, just say yes, dear. Bullcrap. If you think your wife is wrong, you should be able to have a conversation with her, and you should be able to articulate your position in such a way to where she can understand where you're coming from. Now, maybe you're right and maybe you're wrong, but this idea that you would just give up and treat your wife like a petulant child because you don't want to have an argument with her, that's garbage.
It means you're weak.
It means you're weak. Spot on. It means you're weak. Now, a year later, we're getting in another big argument, and she says something to me, and I look at her and I'm like, what did you say? And she's like, well, no, I didn't mean that. I'm like, I am not responsible for understanding what you meant. I am responsible for reasonably interpreting what you said. And that stuck with her. It was like, I can't say things to Nick that is going to cause him to question my love or loyalty to him. Because that's another big thing. For men, we associate love with loyalty.
How did you survive these long deployments and years separated? Because you're right. The divorce rate among servicemen and women, I believe in large part due to circumstances outside of people's control. You know,
that's the part I'll disagree with you.
Well, tell me.
So obviously the separation is outside of their, again, you're in the military, you're serving, you got to go to war. That's out of your control. But whether or not you get divorced over it is entirely within your control.
It's hard though.
It's harder.
A lot of stress on a family.
Can I tell you what my wife did for me? Because again, I said this before, men associate love with loyalty. Every dude has a friend that they shouldn't be friends with.
Right.
And the only reason they're still friends is because that dude showed up at one point when you needed him.
Yeah.
That's the love with loyalty component.
That's what I feel as well. I think that loyalty is the most important quality in a relationship and in friendships. So I always remember the people who have stuck by me when I needed it.
Yeah.
And I would never harm them in any way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So my wife, let me tell you one of the greatest ways my wife ever showed loyalty to me. My wife's a beautiful woman. When I was deployed, I never had to worry about infidelity. But more than that, we had children when I was deployed.
Right.
And I watched as I came home, my children were thrilled to see me.
Right.
Why? Because the entire, gosh damn it, I always get choked on. Entire time I was gone, my wife was like, your dad's a hero. Your dad is over there defending us. Like, your dad has a job to do overseas and we have a job to do at home. She didn't complain about me. She didn't, nothing. So when I came home, not only did I have this wonderful relationship with my wife, right? But I had this wonderful relationship with my kids because Dad wasn't the guy that was gone all the time. Dad was the hero that was defending their country.
She talked you up.
Yes. Every single time.
You were her hero and the kid's hero.
Every single time. Now, the reciprocal part of that is when I come home, it can't be like, okay, Daddy, no, it has to be, sweetheart, I love you, thank you, you are a warrior in your own right, like you kept everything together so that I could focus on the mission at hand, right? So it's that reciprocal component where she was showing this intense loyalty to me in every aspect of our marriage.
Remember when like World War II, long separation. What did they call it? A Dear John letter?
Yeah.
Dear John letter.
A Dear John letter.
Oh, when I first went off to, my wife and I started dating in high school. And again, I can't, every guy says this. I don't know how to explain how real it was. My wife is a beautiful woman. Right? And so when she started dating me, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Right?
By the way, I feel the same way.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense. And I was so worried about getting hurt because I've been hurt before. The day I left for basic training, I told Tina, I said, I'm leaving off to basic training. You know I'm not going to date anybody else, but if you want to, you can.
You said that to her?
Yes, because I didn't want to get a Dear John letter and feel like an absolute, like a weakling. Like
when you were abroad, did any of your friends get them?
Yeah. Not in the military, but in basic training, yeah.
Really?
And so her response to me...
Were they crushed?
Yeah. Her response to me saying... Well, and I had other friends that their wives cheated on them when they were overseas. When I went to basic training, her response to me telling her... Because I already knew which guys would try, too. I already knew which guys would try. And some of them were better looking and smarter than me. Her response to me being in basic training was to write me a handwritten letter every single day I was in basic training. And so I don't know what it was in her or what she saw in me or whatever it was, but that demonstration of loyalty, I already knew I loved her before I went to basic training, but when I went to basic, I realized I couldn't live without her.
I don't hear in you much difference than him.
No.
Well, I met him when I was in New Zealand for Miss Universe New Zealand. I was competing, and we were meant to go on a double date with another guy, and that other guy didn't show up for my friend, so he was nervous, and he was like, I'm going out with 2 Miss Universe girls, and then...
Oh, poor guy.
I know, but he managed to hold
I feel really
together.
bad for you over there.
And then we just hit it off immediately, and then within a month, I think, because it was my birthday, I told him to come up. I actually paid for his tickets, and so he came up to Sydney.
Oh, you paid for his ticket?
Yeah.
The opposite of what you say.
Well, I mean,
the Femosphere.
He does a lot. Like, because I get blood transfusions because I have thalassemia, so my body doesn't produce red blood cells, and he's known as the floor guy because he sits with me for all of my transfusions.
Wow.
Yeah.
You do? You're a good man.
And if I get a migraine, he'll sit with me as well. Like, even if he's...
Those are horrible.
Do you get migraines?
Yeah, it's hell. But, that's
you drink enough water?
Yeah, I drink a lot, especially for singing.
I mean, I get headaches when I don't drink enough, hydrate enough.
Yeah, especially on a flight afterwards.
Oh.
But, yeah, that's the kind of... I would do anything for him. And if people will try and attack him, they'd have to go through me, I would say.
Okay, you sound like a trad wife.
Well, I'm that's the thing. I can't actually express my opinions on my Instagram.
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna try.
Well, why can't you?
Well, when I posted about how much I hate Candace Owens, people got real pissed, and so I started getting death threats and whatnot. And I was like, I don't really want to deal with these.
So you're
death
saying
threats.
Every time you move towards
Slightly
maybe
to the right.
Okay, let me ask the question this way because I want to ask. Every time you express your real views which are definitely more conservative, more in line with Nick, you lose followers, you lose influence, and I assume you lose financially too.
Yeah. Hemorrhage.
Okay. Why not build a new audience and just be your authentic self?
I want to be a part of the conservative movement. I've been a conservative since the day
this interview is going to kill your core audience. Well,
I don't care. I want the conservatives.
So you're ready to transition?
I want the conservatives.
By the way, that did not sound good. You're ready. That did not come out right.
I don't want these unhinged women attacking me for everything, for supporting Trump, for supporting Israel, for basically not wanting men in my bathroom. It's not where I belong. I joined politics when I was 16. I was vice president of the Young Liberals at my university.
So explain this transition.
When in Australia, that's the Conservative
Party, yeah.
And you picked up on this before we even started, that you guys are going to agree more than disagree.
Yeah.
So it's
so disappointing.
you have evolved into a more conservative adult.
I've been conservative forever.
And everything I read about you is older.
Yes.
Everything I'm reading about you is crazy, that you're a sociopath. Do you really think you're a sociopath now?
I have antisocial personality disorder.
Okay, but that's like what lunatic made that diagnosis?
Well, he evaluated me. It was a forensic psychiatrist. He evaluated me for 16 months.
16 months?
Yeah.
And he came to that conclusion?
Yeah.
I just don't see.
Do you agree with that diagnosis?
He sees the rage at home.
Is there a dark side of her that I'm not seeing?
Well, that's the thing. It's psychopathy is not something that's you just appear as a psychopath. That's how they.
It's usually the superficial charm.
Yeah. All right, why don't you come up here and sit next to your beautiful bride for a second? So there's a darker side. By the way, you're a great tennis player. You've been married now 4 years. It's great to have you. I don't even know your first name. I'm sorry.
Sam.
What?
Sam.
All right, Sam, thank you for being here.
That's right.
Okay, so there is a dark side of her still.
Yeah. So this is the thing. We started out, she hated men when we first met. She honestly,
it reads like that.
Well, that's the thing. It's that was her view consistently. I would always try and come.
Really enjoying you sitting on her lap.
Yeah.
If you'd like to switch,
looks cute.
Over,
Yeah. Yeah. Should we? Is that? I'll sit here. How about that?
Yeah, you can.
Anyway, and that was our view when we started, or her view when we started. And then I would come from a more moderate position because I was more the MGTOW sort of. Yeah. My brother had a bit of a he got married to a girl after 4 years. 4 days after she met a girl, she met a guy online, and then just went to they separated after 3 weeks. Jeez. And I was just I'm never getting married. I can't do it. And then
okay, so after 16 months of analyzing your wife, she's got this sociopathic personality diagnosis.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not fully buying it yet, but you're telling me you think it's fully accurate.
Yep.
Why? What is the dark side that is not being revealed on this podcast?
She won't bring it up because she's. I'm the one who more has to ask the prompting questions to sort of get. There's a lot of violent, I would say, thoughts.
Is she violent to you?
No.
Who helps America go farther, fly higher, dream even bigger? People do. Now, since 1879, our people have been more than a source of energy. They have been a source of progress. And today, that same progress is helping deliver record U.S. energy production, fueling the workers, the makers, the boundary pushers, the risk takers, the people that spark the breakthroughs that move our great country forward. Learn more about what our people do at chevron.com/USA250. So do you see that she's trying to go through a transformation?
Yes, 100%.
You do see it?
Charlie Kirk, yeah. Charlie Kirk created the, she was, I didn't realize how much she actually wanted to go to church after, Charlie Kirk. When he got shot, that was she was traumatized. I've never seen her like that. Every morning was just she was just, it was the pinnacle of masculinity.
Pull the mic. We're going to put it in the middle between you two, and if you just speak into it, that'd be. I want everyone to be able to hear. So Charlie Kirk really had an impact on her, as you were admitting. Okay, so she wants to make this transition. Every time she takes a conservative position, she loses influence or followers.
She's being it's like you don't realize how bad it got. Like we had there's a thing called a snark page where women make, and it's women.
Snark page, yeah.
Yeah, they make a Reddit thread, and ours was so bad. And I know someone else who had a really bad one. He was actually in rehab, and they said that he was recording videos in rehab, and they got him kicked out of rehab. That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. They do things.
I got an anonymous email from somebody that doesn't like me, telling me that they had to give me a warning because there was a Reddit page that was making AI pornographic images of my children.
Oh boy.
Okay, well that's bad.
Well, so like I don't mean this. I don't mean to say this to one up. I mean to say like I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's all women too. It's all women.
And they're so heinous. It's like they doxed us. They put up, like, I don't know if you want me to say, but like she had an abuser.
Put it up. Tell us.
Well, she got abused by a very, very nasty man, let's say, and they put images of that up online. Was trying to contact him. They
would try to trigger my eating disorder that I had before. They would say that I'm getting fat. Even yesterday, someone said, "Oh, you used to be attractive. You're losing your looks. You need to work on your personality."
Sure.
And I was like, "Okay, I don't think you've ever been hot to begin with."
Demonic.
I know.
It's so bad.
Well said.
It's so bad. And the more we post, the worse it gets. We've had like some severely deranged people that have.
Yeah. Well, and as a husband too, like your automatic instinct.
I tell her not to.
I just need to protect. And the only time I even came close to experiencing what you're experiencing is when my wife ran for office once. And I remember when I was running, it was like, honey, I don't care. Who cares?
Yeah.
But when she was running, then all of a sudden I'm watching men get online and call her a and everything else. I'm like, I would kill this dude if we were in
it's like, say that to my face.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
Yeah.
So
it's so funny. We're all the same because I can take anything.
Yeah.
There was one that
attack the people I love. It drives me up a wall.
Yeah.
There was one that lived close to us. We know where she lived, and we got our revenge, let's say. Yep.
My wife once asked me, she goes, "Did you just threaten one of your constituents?" I said, "No." I simply asked if he was as brave in person as he was online. That's all I asked.
Yeah, we'll just say like she wasn't driving to work the next day.
Well, you have the anonymous keyboard warriors in their underwear in their parents' basement that can just say whatever. I mean, online is cancer.
Yeah.
It's getting worse.
Parents have got to understand where their kids are.
Oh man,
because kids, they're too young, they're not emotionally developed, they take it personally. I'm sorry, anyone in the public, you're going to go through it.
Yeah.
My best advice when a lot of younger people come to work at Fox, I will tell them, don't read it.
Yep.
They all read it from the beginning. And then, I remember I'm telling more than a few people, well, if you feel bad about it, just go home, Google my name. And, and the worst shit comes up, and I'm like, but I don't care.
Yeah.
You develop a callous, it just doesn't bother me at all.
I think because in childhood I was never really criticized. Like my dad bought me anything I wanted. My dad, they would always say wonderful things. I never got told no.
Yeah.
And nobody ever called me ugly in person. Nobody ever said that they.
And that really hurts you.
No, it's like that plus oh, you should be raped. So that
it's gosh, it's you have to be sick to that's sick. Intense. That's just evil.
Yeah.
So if you really in your heart are making this transition, but in the course of making the transition, and I'd love your input, Nick, on it too.
Yeah, I would too.
In the course of making your transition, you're losing some audience. I would bet everything I had that you're also going to attract new people to you. Now, I don't know about what this anger management issue you have is. It's bad. I mean, she ever thrown a pot at you or dish? Pan?
Stab wounds and a Pilates mat kind of thing.
Okay, there's no stab.
She's a knife person. Yeah.
She's not.
Yeah, sorry.
Women, stabbers, and
I'm a basher. She's a stabber. Yeah.
He's a basher. Yeah, women are poisonous.
Well, what happens when you get that angry?
I have said some very, very awful things.
Okay, that's not violent. That's hurtful.
Oh, I was violent mainly as a teenager. I pushed a girl down
Were you ever
the stairs.
violent towards him?
No, I just kick him up the butt sometimes. I'm not kidding. I have pointy shoes, and so yeah, anytime I walk behind him now, he's like clenching his butt cheeks.
No, I'm good at talking her down. Let's say I'm very good at rationalizing.
How often do you have to do that?
Once a month. It's not like. Yeah.
Would you say like the quiet voice is the scariest?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, when
she goes quiet, she's either hungry or angry.
Changing.
The quiet way.
Okay, that's all women.
Yeah, I know.
No, the quiet, like you said, when I sound quietly threatening.
Oh yeah, quietly. Yeah.
Can I?
As she has embraced her Christianity, I'm going to let you take this over.
Yeah.
As she has embraced her Christianity, have you noticed a change of heart?
Massive change.
Dramatic.
Yeah, because when she does get these anger, like she'll put on a vigil or something online or so she'll go in person to. Like she spends so much time at the church now.
See, I think you don't even know, and I'm just an outsider looking in. It sounds like you're in the middle of a transition. And that's why when I read all the stuff on you, I thought I was going to interview a nut.
Well, to be fair, the Daily Mail just comes up with like headlines. We tried to they make up stuff too. It's insane, like what they say. Like we say some things online that's pretty like out there to for virality.
Right.
I mean, that sort of thing. But
and then they started calling me an Epstein supporter just because. One of the victims was not. Well, she claimed to have met Epstein with Trump on when she was 15. She didn't even meet him till she was 17.
So if they were friends of yours, because you really have given so much thought and into what has really worked so well in your life and your marriage under really at times difficult, I believe, under difficult circumstances. You being deployed for long periods of time, I think that's hard. You seem to dismiss it. I've seen the opposite. I've seen the other side of it where it isn't. But clearly you had a commitment and you married the right person and you found your first love and she was the right love. What would you tell them based on what you're hearing here? Because
the biggest thing you're coming into conflict with is when you were little and it was with your dad, your identity was a princess.
Yes.
Then you got diagnosed with being a sociopath, and then your identity was being a sociopath. You're now learning that your identity is in Christ.
It is.
And the biggest there's no greater transformation that can take place than fundamentally recognizing who you belong to, what your identity and meaning and purpose is. And when that happens, every other thing that you have been told that you are melts away in the face of that.
I know, especially because my mum, when I was 3, she used to call me Shaitan, which in Hindi means Satan. So growing up, she's been calling me Satan. So that's why, like, people try to make me feel like a bad person. And going to the church and being involved in that community, going through catechism, like, I start to think that maybe, God can take vengeance for me. Otherwise, I'm plotting something for, like, months to take someone out, Wait
a minute. There is, God can take revenge. God actually says exactly that.
I know, vengeance is mine.
Revenge is mine, and I shall repay.
Yeah.
That's what it's been really freeing, I would say, to give that burden over.
Yeah. Well, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to pray for you now, because that is what we grow up with. And what becomes enshrined in our identity is really, really difficult to do. But you're already starting. But I mean, honestly, you're the spiritual covering. One of the most difficult things for me to understand, and I did not. My biggest failure in my marriage and as a father was for the first 7 years I was married, I didn't take seriously my responsibility to be the spiritual head of my household. And the end result was that any sort of anxiety, any sort of attack, any sort of anything directed at my wife and children, they were vulnerable to it. And part of it was because I felt like, well, I'm not adequate. Like I'm not. I haven't gone through seminary or whatever else it was that I created as an excuse in my mind. And then there was one day where I recognized something, and it was transformational for me. And it was the idea that God didn't need for me to go through a school or a credentialing process to have the authority that he had given me as a husband and a father. He just needed me to accept that it was real. And the moment I did, and I took seriously, like, no, I will be the one that protects my wife and my children, not just physically. I will protect them spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually. I will take on that responsibility. I will take on the burdens associated with it. All of a sudden, like, my wife was able to flourish. My children were able to flourish. And I look back now, like 20 years later, and through no great effort of my own, you want to talk about a very imperfect but faithful attempt. That describes me. Imperfect, yet faithful in the sense that I really wanted to believe that what God told me was true. It changed everything.
Are you on the same spiritual journey that she's on?
She's wanted me to get into the church more. Like, I think for me, it's quite an internal process, I'm realizing. It's like, when I ask this question, is like, when you go to church and you think about God, like, do you just stare at the cross? Like what do you do when you're like, what is thinking about God? So, and for me, it's like putting faith in something else other than myself has been a bit of a challenge, because I've been hitting my head against a brick wall for a long time.
Because you're an intelligent guy.
I like to think so. I thought I was an idiot for a long time.
No, it's obvious you are.
No, thank you.
You're a critical thinker.
Yeah.
He is.
I like critical thinking, though.
The biggest thing that bothered me about the reason why I didn't do my job for the first 7 years is because I grew up in a charismatic church that was overly emotional.
I hate the happy smiley Jesus.
Oh
people.
My gosh,
Kills
I hate
me.
it. Like, Jesus is the leader of the boy band.
I'm sorry.
I hate it. I hate it. It wasn't until I found Christian apologetics.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all of a sudden I could come up with a good intellectual, philosophical debate for my faith. And for a while there, I thought, like, am I turning my faith into nothing more than an intellectual conviction? And then a guy named Michael Ramsden explained it in a way that I had never heard before. And what he was saying, he goes, there's a reason why God commands you to love him with all of your heart, mind, spirit, and strength. It's because that's the components of a real relationship. Like, the relationship you guys have, the relationship I have with my wife, it's not just an emotional conviction, it's also an intellectual conviction.
Yeah.
And the moment the intellectual side of my faith with Christ became real, it became a real relationship.
Yeah.
But I had to have
Feels
that.
the same for us, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Orthodox church was quite intense. It's like, why did you pick the most intense one? It's like, you're standing for 2 hours and my legs hurt, and like, I'm there, like, trying to think about God, and my legs.
You're an athlete, for crying out
I
loud.
know.
That's what I keep telling him.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling him.
I used to be an athlete, and then I'm like fat now, and I've been trying to lose the weight.
This is
You don't look
fat,
too fat.
Sean. This is fat.
I'm like, how can you not stand there? You're an athlete.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Because
know.
it's
Is
the
it the 2
reason
hour
I can
run?
move. I just can't. I can't stand there.
You know, maybe I'm crazy. I've watched in the series The Chosen. Have you ever watched it?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I love it. Have you watched it?
No, but I will.
Have you watched it?
No.
I watched it like 5 times, start to finish, and I get something new out of it every time. Maybe because I'm partly more visual. I do read the Bible too, and I go to church as often as I can. If not, I watch online, and I'll watch sermons. I love Christian contemporary music. That inspires me. Like, I love C.C. Winan, Michael W. Smith. There's so many people. I'm going to leave a million people out.
I'm a Skillet man myself.
What's that?
Skillet. That's a Christian band.
You see, but you're like a senior pastor. Like, you have fine-tuned your position. I love apologetics. One of my best friends, David Limbaugh, is Rush's brother.
Yeah.
He writes books on apologetics.
Yeah.
And that is the case for Christianity, but also taking in critical thinking in the process of it. One of I love arguing with atheists, because I'll start with, it's like my favorite thing to do. I had a record the other day on my radio show. This kid was 26 years old, claimed he was a socialist. I kept him on for 20 minutes, and at one point he claimed he was an atheist. I said, really? I said, if you're an atheist, then you believe something can come from nothing. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, where did all that stuff come from that created universes within universes within universe? And I said, well, do you at least hold out the possibility that maybe there's something more powerful and a God that is a creator? Now that you think about it, maybe, yeah. I said, you're no longer an atheist, you're an agnostic.
Yeah.
Another 90 seconds, I might have had him, saying, God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. By the way, you three have ruined my show. Just so you know, this is what the beauty of a podcast. I had no idea where this thing's going.
Yeah.
How do we get rid of this crazy part of you once a month?
Wait, once a month?
What are you referring to?
I'm referring to what you said.
Yeah, I know, I'm kidding.
I just look, it's my audience that pisses me off the most, because they're little passive-aggressive comments and whatnot. Like, I try not to read anything. But, like, I think because I feel so unfulfilled in actually following what I actually believe, like conservatism, like talking to, I'd much rather talk to Ben Shapiro. You know, obviously, I'm here with you. That's the most excited I've ever been for a podcast.
Oh.
I told him, I used to watch him with my dad. I'm so excited. And I think that because that frustration gets built over time, and then around that women's time of the month, I can get very, very ragey. So we have Pilates mats that I can.
So can I, and I'd love, Nick is so centered and really, I'm already looking up to you. I think you're a mentor to so many people, and admire, your life story a lot. And you're about, I just feel you're about to flourish. You're going to open up like a flower, and I want that for you. I don't think I'm wrong. You agree?
Nope.
I'll tell you, the one thing that I would say to you is, and I tell this to young people in broadcasting when they're starting, the minute you abandon what you think it means to be a radio host or a TV host, or now I do this because I love it. I do this because of the spontaneity, what happened here today, what's been happening. And the moment, if your true values are, I like Charlie Kirk.
I love Charlie Kirk.
I like Donald Trump.
I like Donald Trump.
I like Nick Freitas. I like Sean Hannity. You know what? I love my husband, and I'm not a narcissist anymore. Take that stupid diagnosis and throw it in the garbage, because it's only words. Who are you today?
Well, I look up to you.
And if it means you lose followers for temporarily,
I lose followers, yeah.
Am I wrong in thinking that she will find a whole new audience, and that he will help her?
I have so much faith in you, in Ben Shapiro, in Jeremy Boring, Jordan Peterson, of course, and all of the accusations I get from the women is why do you only support problematic white men? And it's what does their skin color have to do with this, and how are they problematic? Name me one time they've said something racist or sexist, and they can never answer that. And so, when I repost Ben Shapiro, if I repost something of yours, any of that, it's death threats in my inbox. Yeah. That's why it's so hard to move from a left base to an actual conservative base.
Where is your true heart? Where's your heart?
I would say probably right of Mitt Romney, but less right than Ron DeSantis on some issues.
Okay.
The one you struggle with is the abortion issue, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that, we should kill unborn babies. The only issue I have with that is if you get persecuted or you die from having a toxic, infection or anything that would...
Different story.
Yeah. So that's kind of the only difference. And also now there's that radical right wing where they're women shouldn't vote and stuff.
That's
it's so stupid. If we're going to work and contribute money to the government, why would we not be allowed to have a say? And
okay, most conservative men don't think like
exactly.
We're not Bam Bam.
I literally tell all my friends, if you're sick of these guys who don't pay for your dates, who want to take you on a walk instead of dinner, go for a conservative man. Because I've never had a conservative man talk to me like he wants, intimacy right away. They court you properly. They take care of you. They pick you up from your house, drop you off home.
Respect you.
They respect you.
My fiance has a great line for women.
Yeah.
And know your worth.
Yes.
And she tells that to young girls all the time. Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And I think women should know their worth.
Yeah.
And men should also.
Yeah.
But the whole difference is maybe just this linguistic thing. It's because what you're saying is very similar. Is that you're saying you must treat me like a queen, which cracks me up.
But conservative men do treat you like a queen.
Okay, but what about
He's still the king.
But biblically, what he's saying is that God commands us to serve one another and love one another as he has loved us.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, what's the difference?
It's hard to answer that one because I do think men should be the leaders of the household just because I've been raised in a patriarchal family. And personally, I would never want to be in a matriarchy because I like a rigid hierarchical system. And women don't understand that. And so they think that anything that I say about it is going to be, you know, it's going to harm vulnerable people. But I don't like the idea of living on a commune and working together and like everyone's just equal. You
I don't
have no
want to live on a
motivation.
commune either.
Yeah, you don't.
You, Nick?
You know who also doesn't like to live on communes? Communists. They always leave them.
Like Hamas Piker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd seen your stuff before.
Yeah.
But in preparation for this, I had all kinds of your stuff lined up that I was going to watch. And I don't know what to say other than I was sitting there, I was looking at it, and I was praying about it. And as I was praying about it, it was like, don't watch any of it. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I not prepare for something I was going to go on? Like, it's respectful to Sean, it's respectful to you that I would prepare. And it's like, don't watch any of it. And I remember this. I remember this point where Jesus was sending off his disciples for the first point, and he said, "Don't worry about what you will say. I will give you what to say at the moment that you need it."
What's your advice to her then?
Beautiful.
I'm
asking.
I'm a dad and I'm a girl dad.
Oh, I love
right?
girl dad.
So when I say sweetheart, that's what I mean, right? You are a daughter of Christ. Like everything else that you have used to identify yourself, it's just not accurate. I'm not saying that there haven't been difficulties or struggles associated with it, but it's not who you are. And the reason why you're having such a struggle right now, and the reason why I think you found this man, because again, I'll get to that in a second. The reason why you've had such a struggle with it is because I think deep down you actually know who you are and who you belong to. And now more than ever, young women are struggling to find people to aspire to.
Oh, absolutely.
My wife, I sat there for a longest time, and I was giving all these talks on biblical masculinity, and I remember asking Tina, I was like, would you please give a discussion on biblical femininity?
Yeah.
And she goes, do you just want me to talk about the problems of feminism? I'm like, no, that's all they get. All they get is something to avoid. I'm asking you to give them something to aspire to. Because when I read Proverbs 31,
yes, and we should.
That's the most intimidating woman I've ever read about.
Quote it.
I can't give you the full quote.
Got it.
Right? But when you look at Proverbs 31, this is a woman that uplifts her home. She's called blessed. She's entrepreneurial. She's intelligent.
Yeah.
She's like across the board. She is formidable. That's the best way to put it. The Proverbs 31 woman is formidable. And when you talk about, when Christ talks about creating a helpmate for Adam, there's a word that's used in Hebrew. And if you actually look at the actual definition, it's not just helpmate, like executive assistant. It's irremovable support. There's another time that God uses it in Scripture, and he uses it to describe himself to Israel, to the nation of Israel. And the thing, if nothing else, the thing I would really love for you both to understand is that the reason why you're so conflicted right now is because you've built a social media audience on something that is only partially true.
Yeah.
And you're struggling with it.
Partially focused on one, yeah.
Partly, you're struggling with it because the closer you get to the truth about who you are and who God is, the more you rebel against it.
So it's Proverbs 31, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And your part, there's a reason why you're analytical. There's a reason why you have such a commitment to critical thinking. And there's a reason why you don't want to believe in Christianity just because you see it as a noble myth. You don't want to believe in something that's false. Mm-hmm. You want to believe in something that's true. Yep. And you want to understand that there's the actual historical, philosophical, and logical evidence to back it up. Yep. I had the same problem in my own life. The more I dug into criticizing my faith, and I mean that in the actual term.
Was there a moment that you remember that actually changed that for you?
Several. because it wasn't just one thing, right? There was like, okay, it made sense to me that it would be true, because if you believe in objective truth and you believe in objective morality, atheism, agnosticism, and materialism cannot provide the foundation for that. Because if something is objectively true or objectively moral, then there needs to be an authority figure that gives it objectivity. If all of us are just time plus chance plus matter, so once upon a time there was nothing, then it exploded. Then we had inorganic material, and then we had organic material, and then we had organic thinking material, and then we had organic thinking moral material. Where did that come from? That doesn't make sense. Mathematically, it's impossible. But then all of a sudden, if we accept, and this is really what it comes down to. So I'm not going to ask you to accept the argument that I make right here. I'm going to ask you to consider this. Based off of what you know, because you do believe in truth, you do believe in critical thinking, you do believe in love, and you do believe in justice. And I know you believe all these things because you're married. So you love. And the fact is that when she does stuff that you disagree with, you don't just let her get away with it. You bring justice because you believe there's such a thing as truth. So you try to work her through it, but you still believe that there's such a thing as true. There's still things that she shouldn't do.
I think the biggest thing is actually compromise. So, like, if she has, like, because the thing is, like, she's a lot. This is sort of a recent progression, I would say, the Christian thing. I mean, how long has it been? Three,
January.
4? Yeah. So it's been an incredible life change.
How long has it been?
So I first started getting into the Bible again after Charlie, and then I got into the proper church from about January.
Okay, so it's new.
Yeah, it's like, I can tell you, like, it was profound. Like, when that happened that morning, it was, like, honestly the worst day.
It was one of the worst days of my life.
She couldn't care less. Like, when her grandma died, it was like, oh, you know. But when Charlie died, it was something different.
When your grandmother died, it was a series of facts that you analyzed.
Yeah.
When Charlie died, there was something emotional that changed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I still cry.
He can cure psychopathy. I don't know. There was something so special about that man.
There's something to it, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. There was just a profound life change, and then she was just hinting at going to church for a while. And then we went to, like she's an intense person, so we went to every church, not just, so it's like, what denomination are you? It's like, yes. You know, we were like, we went everywhere. Like, every day she wanted to go, and then she found the Orthodox church. So we're currently going to a Russian Orthodox church, and there's no sitting. Like, so
I already heard that complaint.
Yeah, it's a lot of standing. It's like 2 hours. My legs get really sore, and
That's a lot of tennis.
So I'm like, why couldn't you pick one with really comfortable seats?
You just want to believe it's real.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's
whoa, focus on that. Is it real for you?
Be honest.
It's really hard to answer, because, like, I'm discovering that it's really internal. It's not like if this is my theory, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if we're made in the image of God, then God is inside us. God is not, like, out there. Like, the whole world is telling us to be external.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like money, like things, right? But, you know, like monks and everything, they go internally to find God. Yeah. That's what I'm finding in church, is that, you know, you don't go and, you know, sit there and look at the cross. You actually go and just exist. You know, you let go of social media.
Why do you think that is?
Well, like, what do I think?
Why do you think it's internal? Why do you think there's a lot of world religions and there's a lot of philosophies, but why do you think it's that?
Well, because that's the only solution we have, is because if we're made in the image of God, that's the closest thing to God, essentially. Like, we're born out of that.
Or the Holy Spirit also being
the Holy
us.
Spirit, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I go back to your Proverbs 31?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I looked it up.
Proverbs 31 woman.
I pulled it up, and it's the wife of a noble character, the Proverbs 31 woman. And I'm going to ask both of you a question out of this, and I might not read the whole thing. It goes on for a while. And it goes, a wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it's still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. And, you know, it just goes on. She opens her arms to the poor, extends her hands to the needy. obviously it would take me a while to go through all of this, but there's 31 of them. And, you know, is that the person you want to be?
Wait a second. We've tried to replace that with a trad wife aesthetic.
Yeah, and they're getting
A
paid for the
sundress and sourdough bread.
They get paid for it because it's
That
their
is
job.
not what God calls out femininity to be. He calls it out to be that. That's strong and intelligent and compassionate and entrepreneurial and
What
powerful.
does the Proverbs 31, the 31 man be? God also has very clear.
Oh, no. See, Proverbs 31 is for them.
No, I got that. But I'm saying the biblical equivalent, you know, men honor your wives.
Love your wives.
Love your wives.
Love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. This is the part where I can't.
Love others as I have loved you. This is what I command you.
And no greater love than this, than a man lay down his life for his friend. But and then you look at Joshua and you look at Caleb and you look at David and you look for all the indicators on what is God telling men to be. This is why when I say, as she's on this journey and you guys are going on it together, you will have to lead it. And to the extent that, I mean, I can respect where you're at with this whole idea is like, I'm happy to lead because you already are.
I never considered myself the leader. Like when we talked about our relationship early on, we talked about being partners, like 100%. She makes like day-to-day decisions. I'm better at the financial stuff. Bit of a lunatic when it comes to finances, to be totally honest.
I wonder which one spends more.
I went into 30K debt because I was flying myself around first class because I had that impulsivity.
Yeah.
And that's another problem in terms of the ASPD or sociopathy is like the ability to just feel so much boredom that you do things that are reckless.
You seem like you cling to this diagnosis like it's, locked into you. I don't know.
I think because it's so pervasive.
Okay,
There's
are you still the same person?
Well, I feel like I'm getting better. Like that's why I like the Orthodox. It's like you're sick.
He says he thinks you're getting better.
Yeah, it's very hard to get people to understand unless you're like, I mean, she's very good at putting on,
fair.
It's like I can't explain to you in like 10 minutes.
Is she putting on a show in the show?
So no, actually, to be honest, she's wanted to say this for a long time. Like
it's bifurcation.
Yeah, we've for the last so we started off like I was saying before, like we like she hated men. She really did. Like
did you hate men?
You had a lot of words
I
to say
just
about
thought that my dad was the only good man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also thought men didn't have feelings.
So
what were you saying?
So legitimately, like that's where we started from, and then actually, someone I think it was our publicist or whatever recommended we make a channel about the sociopathy thing, and then it just sort of took off, right? So we sort of help people with the clinical side of borderline personality disorder, antisocial personality, histrionic, the cluster B sort of thing. So we started with that,
which is real. I don't deny.
Yeah, 100%, and we helped a lot of people, I think, with the mental health stuff, and then
getting people out of domestic violence.
We sort of made it a bit more funny, we had some comedic content we made, and then we went into the feminist stuff and that sort of did well. And it was like, I started to sort of go that way as well because, some men were being horrible at that time, and I think there was a lot of the red pill stuff coming out. It wasn't so good. So it was time for the women to fight back. And then, she went on a trip to Europe and and the only people that helped her were men. All the people that were horrible out there were women.
What convinced you he was different?
Just the way he took care of me. Like, it just didn't feel like...
Okay, but that could have been... Okay, so going back to the sociopath, maybe he's a sociopath. What convinced you he was different?
He has the same integrity as my dad.
I try to do since we've talked a lot about narcissistic abuse, I try to do the opposite. I wanted to have skills. I wanted to have as many friends as possible. I don't want to be that.
Why? You were that before you met her. Why?
I don't know. I just hate myself if I was the the abusive person. I feel like it's just my job. It's a natural thing.
You want to protect.
I actually, to be totally honest, and this is my granddad and is like the most amazing man. He just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He's only got about a couple of weeks left, but he is the most incredible man that I have. He's a rock. My grandma had cancer, and she lived another 16 years because of him.
Oh wow.
She got like 3 different types of cancers, and he 110 or 100 over 100 chemo sessions and like Avastin or whatever it is. He took it every morning 6 o'clock for like years and years.
He had a model.
Plus he like
my dad's the same.
Plus he would grow his own food and bring her breakfast in bed.
All clean, everything, did everything for her. And then my dad's the same. My dad protects my mum, like on the tennis court once this guy was being horrible to my mum, and after the match my dad just grabbed him by the hand, didn't let go, and he's like, don't you ever talk to my mum my wife like that again.
Love it.
He's a man,
Love it.
And she's the most feminine woman you'd ever meet in your life.
She's an angel.
That's because genuine masculinity.
So when she was going
femininity.
through all of the stuff that like I thought we were going to be talking about that we really never got to.
I mean, I've still done things. I'm like
No, but you were in love to marry that person, but did you see potential for this person emerging?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like there are some things that are a bit like we have to talk a lot. That's the thing I would have to say, is because she has some very unique perspectives on things. So I dealt with a lot of anxiety growing up, so I learned, very early on that sometimes you have to understand that you will never understand.
Well,
like you just,
I think that's the biggest feature that I think is my strong suit, is that I don't feel fear in terms of I don't. If I were someone called,
Probably terrifying for you at times.
walks in front of cars, just doesn't.
If someone called me. If someone called me tonight and said, you have to talk to 2 million people tomorrow about this topic that you know nothing about, I can do it.
I would shit myself.
I don't have not once have I experienced anxiety in my entire life. So
Wow.
that's kind of like a
Well, wait, but I don't understand that, because so
it's like basically like.
Well, no, what I mean is like you keep bringing up points. Whenever we say, why are you saying these things if it doesn't correspond with your beliefs, and you will talk about losing followers, that's anxiety.
No, it's not so much anxiety as it is.
This is where it's hard to explain. It's like a different emotion for her.
Okay.
Like
it's like a
more calculated.
It's a bit more, it's a more ragey response.
Got it.
Instead of feeling sad about things, she'll get very, very angry.
Okay.
Very, it's like rage. Like when she talks about emotions, it's not like anger, it's rage.
Got it.
She doesn't like someone she loves. Like it's intense.
Intense.
And the other strange thing is like she can't empathize with herself in the future and the past. Like she can't think about the future because she can't put herself there, because she can't feel the emotion there. She can't feel the emotion in the past. That's why she doesn't care about. Like, if she was to embarrass herself, like a year ago or something, me, it would replay in my mind over and over again, like as an anxious person. But she just forgets about it. It's like, that's the thing, is like, everything's so fleeting. Me, I'm the opposite. So we sort of like, we're just opposites that balance each other out.
How'd you know you loved her?
I don't know. She took all the anxiety from me.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I stopped living in the future and just started living in the moment. That was when I knew.
You know what I absolutely love about marriage, and I try to help guys understand this all the time, is that we make so many jokes about the differences between men and women, and then we talk about the negative manifestations of when we clash. We don't spend enough time talking about the absolutely miraculous thing that happens when we collaborate with one another instead of compete. So the fact that you have this one thing and
she's inspirational to me.
Yeah.
Like, she is everything that I wish I could be. And we're just like, I think I balance her out.
Because we're not enough by ourselves.
Yeah.
We like to tell ourselves that we're enough by yourself. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not enough by yourself. You need God, and then you need somebody else. And this idea that
You're saying she's your helpmate.
I mean, to be honest, not quite. Like, the thing is, I think of us as just partners. Like, I wouldn't want to be like, it's like a lot of pressure if you're fully in charge.
You never want to lose her.
Yeah, well, I mean,
instead of her language, the crazy language, do you want to serve her like she says you do, like the queen?
I do everything for her. Yeah.
Huh?
I'd do everything for her. Like
And would you do? And you'll do everything for him.
Yes, I would.
So it's not transactional, like you suggest.
Well, I think all relationships are transactional.
Well, I mean, yeah, but what if you do stuff and not expect anything in return?
This is the big difference. It's an emotion for me. It's not an emotion for her. It's
just logical. Like, I need to do this so that I can, get this.
So I want a new handbag, a new dress, and if I do this, you'll get that?
No, I have a separate trick for that. So I'll ask for something outrageous, and then settle for what I actually want.
It worked too many times. That's the sad
I like
thing.
the honesty about it. I mean, it's just
That's how Donald Trump
you know what?
negotiates.
You know
I'd still
what?
fall for it, and she told me about it, and I still fall for it, yeah.
Okay, but can I say something? You ask for the incredible, then you settle.
For what I want.
Well, wait a second. Now you settle for what you want from him. That's what's different.
What if he says no to something you want?
He does a lot.
Oh.
He's like, we can't get to America on this, and you guys were kind enough to bring me here. He's like, we can't afford it, Kanika, like, just no. And I was like, okay, fair enough. But then, I want to go back to the lack of anxiety. So when I was young, like I would say 17, 18, I was at uni, and I was always like, because being a conservative on campus is like being a murderer. And so I would go into debates. I'd have socialists screaming at me, communists screaming at me, people trying to drown out my voice, trying to create anxiety, trying to make me feel scared, even though I'd like headed basically events that had previous prime ministers there. And so they expect me to be intimidated by, trans women who are 6'3" yelling at me. I'm not, like, I don't have that fear. Like, if he's going to talk to me like that, I'm going to scream right back at him. And that's the problem. Because I know I can't pick a fight when I'm this size with this grown man. Because men are stronger, bigger, faster. Like, that's just reality. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of helps me with opportunities. It's like, sort of, I've been trained from being in politics from such a young age to be able to, like, internalize any sort of thought process that comes from opposition and just go full on attack. Like, that's kind of what I'm really good at. And honestly, when I see, let's say, Candace Owens, I think she is the most extreme and repugnant version of me.
You think she's like you?
I think she is a disingenuous and horrifically cruel woman, but the basis, I think, of her disorder is rooted in narcissism, and I think it's also rooted in antisocial personality.
All right, so I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask both of you this question. We reconvene a year from now. What's going to be different?
I'm going to be an even bigger fan of you.
I appreciate the kind words. I do.
No, I'm not even kidding. I'm not trying to love bomb you. Like, I've genuinely watched you with my dad for so many years.
I'm very honored, to be honest.
It's so nice. Like, I was like, oh my, when I got the email, I was like, Sean Hannity. Seriously, the only other person I'd be like that for is like Charlie or Rush Limbaugh.
Wow.
I was like,
thank you.
It's a big honor.
Yeah, it was.
It's an honor for me. But seriously, in a year from now, I don't see you as the same person, and I see this guy really, he's almost transforming before my very eyes. Am I seeing it the right way?
I try not to presume too much because obviously I met you guys, an hour ago.
No, actually about 2 hours ago.
Okay, 2 hours ago. Time has flown. I absolutely believe you guys are supposed to be together for a reason, and there's a balancing act there. But the thing is that because you're more impulsive in this side, there's some degree where you're coming along to protect her. And I get it in the sense that when it comes to faith, Michaela Peterson and I actually had this conversation once. She was talking about her dad, how Jordan really admired Christianity, and I remember I told Michaela, I said, I don't believe in a noble myth. I don't have use. I don't have use, nor do I have time for noble myths. If it's true, I want to believe it entirely, and if it's not true, I'm not wasting time. The thing that struck me about Christianity is that from a logical perspective, a philosophical perspective, an empirical perspective, it made sense. All of it made sense. The moment you feel convicted of that, and I'm not trying to make it happen in the next whatever amount of time, the moment you feel that, you're going to step into a leadership role. And it's not to say that there isn't a partnership role within marriage. There is. But she doesn't need a partner. She needs someone that's going to lead, and you've already done that in so many respects.
Nick, I want to dial you in a little tighter.
Yeah.
Bring them back a year from now. You don't see that there's going to be a dramatic change from today?
A year from now, one of two things will have happened. You'll either decide this is all garbage, or you will have been convinced in your own right, not because of anything, you will be convinced in your own right that it's true. The moment you're convinced it's true, something radical is going to happen because of the sort of man that you are.
And what's going to happen with her?
Well, that's secondary.
Okay.
It's going to need to be you. So when you've made a decision on what it is that's true and what you believe, and when you fully embrace that role, there is going to be a complete liberation for her. And the liberation for her will be, she will know exactly who she is, who she belongs to, what her life's about. And both of you will have a dedication to the truth, and you'll help one another out, just like she freed you of anxiety. There's something else you'll free her of. And that's this idea that she has to define herself by anything other than the fact that she's a child of God. And when both of those things, I mean, this is just what I believe. When both of those things happen, the relationship that you guys have together will be so more fuller than you've ever imagined that it could be. The other thing is that you have a unique talent. And when that unique talent is actually driven by the truth, not just by clicks, not just by trying to generate an audience, which I all understand are motivations, but when that is really fueled by, I am saying this not just because I know it works, but because I truly believe it's true, then all of the other influences that are currently having any degree of power over your lives will be gone. And the degree to which you will be able to help people and inform people and instruct people will be unlike anything you have ever experienced. Because at that point, you'll be on mission.
What do you want? Who do you want to be a year from now?
I want to be a political commentator in the conservative space. I want to be a baptized Russian Orthodox believer. I want to get another book out there. And I want to actually live as a conservative and not have to pretend that I'm not a conservative.
What would ever stop you from pursuing who you really are?
Well, it's just, I guess like when you're hemorrhaging like followers, you're hemorrhaging money and all of that, and it's like, what do I do? It's like, because I can't jump ship. Like I have not built up a conservative base. I don't know how I would jump over to that.
I think that is your jumping off point becomes your new audience point.
But
some will stay with you either way.
How do they find me?
They'll find you.
You will be shocked. First of all, you're the lifeboat.
He's really good. He's a fantastic.
You're everything she's talking about right now is built out of fear. You're the one that alleviates the fear. Just as like she eliminates the anxiety from you, you eliminate the fear from her.
I think the tough thing about social media is, like you were talking about, like protecting. Obviously, you want to protect your wife from things, and it's the same. Mm-hmm. Like, the problem is, like, how do you like when she's the one, like obviously on the camera, who's the one, obviously Instagram's quite personal and that sort of thing. That's where she receives, a lot of the comments that can be quite damaging. It's like, how do you protect her from that? So the way I try to rationalize that, okay, it's like a person that's, from a private account or has 0 followers, that sort of thing. It's not even a real person. That's why I try to rationalize situations, but it's very hard with social media to actually, protect her from all
I
that.
don't Google myself.
I have an idea. Why don't you guys do something together?
Maybe.
That could be the
100%.
That could be the go.
Honestly, I mean,
100%.
I think there's right now there's a whole new world wide open for you. The only thing I will say at the end of the day is that the minute you all are your authentic self, that is when you will do your best, most impactful work.
And to answer your question, like where I'd be, a year from now, I didn't think I'd be here a year from now. So it's like, I didn't think we'd be at the Orthodox Church here, a year, at this time. So I can't predict it. It's like, I think I do feel like God is working in our lives somehow. Like, I'm yet to determine like what God is. Like, I don't understand relationship with God. anything. I don't really think I ever have. But I think it's just, for me, it is an internal process and whatever. So I might be wrong on that. But that's my theory.
After going to Liberty University, the most Christian university.
I know, right?
They're so punchable. I don't know. Just there's too many happy, smiley people. I can't. It's like people just put this facade up. It's like they don't have a
convocation there, like more times than I can count.
So you're one of those happy, smiley people.
The commencement address there.
Yeah.
I actually have a doctorate from Liberty. Of course, it's an honorary doctorate.
It's a great school.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah. I think my plan is to invite you all back a year from now. You're just going to be where you are. You are on a strong foundation.
No, you're going to have the #1 podcast. You'll have the #2 podcast.
Okay, I'll settle.
And
and you'll have number 3 to start. Year 1, not bad.
No, I don't think I'd make it to 3 just yet. But as long as we can knock Candace off the top, I'm happy.
I'll tell you, this is what I love about this space. You know, I do very heavy politically oriented talk on radio.
Yes.
And on TV.
On TV.
And what I love about this space is you have no idea what's going to happen. And, you know, this show blew up like 5 minutes into it, into something I didn't expect, but it was actually something deep and personal.
Meaningful.
It felt like a very authentic conversation.
By the way, keyword, meaningful
and
profound. And I'm glad you came on too. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you all for hanging out with me, hanging out here. I have a funny feeling that when we reconvene, I don't know, maybe it'll be 6 months or a year.
Let's do 6 months.
You like 6 months?
Yeah,
you like 6 months?
Sure.
You okay with that?
I'm good with 6 months.
I'm really grateful to all of you. Really am. And I expected a monster, and I didn't find one. And I'm glad.
Thank you.
And I'm glad, you know, you have this guy in your life too. And your worldview is it's deep and it's profound and it's impactful. And I'm grateful for what you do. Thanks for hanging out.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much
Appreciate
for hosting
it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. You can tell he's a military guy. He's strong. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode, hanging out with me, Sean Hannity. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel so you never, ever, ever, ever miss an episode. We've got a lot more great, I mean really great content coming your way. We hope you'll subscribe.